Centre.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm back tonight to continue calling on this government to fix the Canada Disability Benefit. It's particularly timely because we're now nearing when we expect to see their fall economic statement. It's an opportunity for them to right a wrong. And the stakes are pretty high. 1.5 million folks with disabilities are living in poverty across the country. It's 40% of all those living in poverty in Canada. Now, it was the Liberal Party's own platform in 2021 that said a re-elected Liberal government would implement the Canada Disability Benefit, and here's the quote, "This new benefit will reduce poverty amongst persons with disabilities in the same manner as the Guaranteed Income Supplement and the Canada Child Benefit." Both programs, in the case of the Canada Child Benefit, in the order of tens of billions of dollars. I think it's around $15 billion for the Canada Child Benefit. The minister at the time said this would be a generational program. Her quote, "the sleeper legacy piece if we do this right." Well, now we're nearing the end of this government's mandate. The fall economic statement is likely the last opportunity to fix the benefit before we head into an election. If nothing is done, here's the reality. The proposed benefit amount is currently capped at a maximum of $200 a month. It won't even start till July of 2025, and it's going to be limited to those who can access the incredibly burdensome disability tax credit. Recent modeling from the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives shows only 10,000 people would be lifted above the poverty line by the benefit as it's currently laid out. Here's Inclusion Canada commenting on it. Their quote, "Our disappointment cannot be overstated." This government's got to fix the benefit as the disability community has been calling for. Specifically, 7 things they've got to do to address fixing the Canada Disability Benefit. First of all, remove the barriers to application by automatically enrolling recipients of provincial and territorial disability programs, as well as those who currently receive CPPD in the Canada Disability Benefit, and remove the requirement for a DTC certificate. Second, remove the additional barrier of another application that they've proposed in the regulations with a simple opt-out option for those who do not wish to receive the Canada Disability Benefit. Third, support the dignity and the independence of each person with a disability by means testing the benefit against an individual's income. Fourth, of course, increase the maximum amount to lift folks with disabilities above the poverty line, taking into account the added cost for those who live with a disability. Fifth, raise the income threshold so that it takes into account the added cost of living with a disability. Sixth, fast track the implementation and delivery of the benefit. And seventh, issue retroactive payments dating back to when the legislation was passed in June of 2023. They could pay for this easily if they redirected the subsidies they currently give to the oil and gas industry every single year. It's about $18.5 billion in 2023 alone. This is about honoring this government's own promise. It's about addressing poverty. It's about listening to the disability community. My question to the Parliamentary Secretary is, will they do it?
Parliamentary Secretary, the Minister of Diversity, Inclusion and Persons with Disabilities.
Monsieur le Président, I'd like to thank the member from Kitchener Centre for his question on behalf of persons with disabilities and for his advocacy, and also thank the disability community for its advocacy over the last several years. Everyone in Canada should be able to live in dignity. Our government is dedicated to this principle. We're prioritizing the needs of persons with disabilities and the disability community, and we're working towards meaningful solutions that matter and are impactful. It was our Liberal government that enacted the Accessible Canada Act. This was the first national Canadian legislation that impacted all government departments and federally regulated agencies.
We are committed to making Canada more accessible and inclusive for everyone.
Disability Inclusion Action Plan, our blueprint for change. A key component of this plan is a robust employment strategy. This strategy is integral to supporting persons with disabilities, helping persons with disabilities enter the workforce. In fact, Statistics Canada estimates that over 1 million working-age Canadians with disabilities can participate in the labour market if they had a fully inclusive environment. We are committed to providing that fully inclusive environment for the 1 million Canadians of working-age persons with disabilities. Our government is committed to removing barriers through programs like the Enabling Accessibility Fund. This fund supports essential improvements such as ramps, accessible doors, accessible washrooms and offices. Additionally, the Opportunities Fund assists individuals with disabilities in preparing for and finding and maintaining employment. It also helps to advance careers. Together, these initiatives help foster accessible communities and workplaces. It enables us to tap into this important and valuable talent pool.
Our government has invested more than any other federal government to support Canadians with disabilities. And yet, there's still much more to be done. With the Canada Disability Benefit, our government has taken a new historic step.
As a cornerstone of the Disability Inclusion Action Plan, the Canada Disability Benefit aims to enhance financial security of low-income, working-age persons with disabilities. Importantly, the disability community is engaged to supplement, the disability benefit is designed to supplement existing disability support programs, not replace them. The
provinces and territories play an essential role in the provision of benefits.
Combined federal and provincial and territorial benefits improve supports for persons with disabilities to match the levels of the old age security and guaranteed income supplement. This significant adjustment is essential to effectively address the rates of poverty facing persons with disabilities. The Canada Disability Benefit allows our government to work with provinces and territories to see that there are no more clawbacks in existing benefits. Ensemble, nous pouvons.
Together, we can explore ways of improving our collective assistance to people with disabilities. We understand that the disability community is anxious to see benefits begin to flow, and so are we.
De voir les prestations commencer, et nous le sommes aussi. We're moving swiftly towards establishing essential components of the disability benefit and delivering this. This will be in people's pockets by dès que juillet.
As early as July.
From Kitchener Centre again.
The honourable member for Kitchener Centre.
Mr. Speaker, this government can move swiftly. They did it with the Canada Emergency Response Benefit, the CERB, in the midst of the pandemic. Within weeks, a framework was designed. When it came to people with disabilities, though, this is a promise made over 4 years ago now. This entire session of Parliament is now nearing its end. We've now got a really critical economic document coming out in the coming weeks. It's an opportunity for this government to show the disability community that they've actually been heard, to see them and see the reality of what they've proposed, how insufficient it is. A maximum of $200 a month, limited to those who can get through the burdensome disability tax credit application process, is not what this government promised in the throne speech years ago or in their platform. And so my question to the parliamentary secretary is, will they take this moment to reflect on the feedback they've heard from the disability community, demonstrate they've heard the disability community by doing better and fixing the Canada Disability Benefit?
The honourable parliamentary secretary.
Monsieur le Président, I'd like
Mr. Speaker.
Kitchener Centre for his advocacy. Our government is committed to supporting persons with disabilities. The first checks of this disability benefit will be in people's pockets as of July. This is an important and historic benefit for our country, for all people who are living in challenging times with disabilities, working age adults. This will help reduce poverty and will support the financial security of so many. The CDB is a major milestone in our government's commitment to diversity and inclusion. Our government is moving as quickly as possible to get this money to people who need it most. The Conservative Party has said that it supports persons with disabilities. But there is a question mark in terms of which programs the Conservative Party will cut first. We've heard this from the Conservative leader in the past. We'd like to know if this benefit will be cut by them into the future.